Welcome, dear friend. Today, we embark on a journey that will fundamentally reshape your understanding of happiness. For too long, many of us have been waiting for that perfect job, waiting for someone to love us, waiting for life to smooth out its rough edges. We tell ourselves, then and only then, will I be happy? But what if I told you that happiness doesn't operate on such terms? It's not a treasure you stumble upon. It's not a gift bestowed by life or by others. Happiness is, in its purest essence, a skill. And like any skill, be it playing an instrument, learning a language, or mastering a craft, it can be learned, practiced, and ultimately mastered. This isn't some fanciful notion. It's grounded in real human experience, supported by scientific understanding, and proven through consistent practice. Stay with me, and I promise your perspective on happiness will be forever transformed. Part 1. What most people misunderstand about happiness. The prevailing belief is that happiness is a consequence. I'll be happy when I'm rich. I'll be happy when I'm married. I'll be happy when I earn respect. Yet, these are merely events, milestones. And even when they arrive, the initial surge of joy often recedes. Why? Because these external achievements were never the true wellspring of your happiness. Consider this profound truth: a man with nothing can find joy singing under the sun, while a millionaire may weep in solitude within a mansion. The disparity isn't wealth or external success, it is a matter of mindset. Happiness isn't found, it is cultivated. It isn't a gift, it's a discipline. And if you neglect to train it, it will fade. Happiness is a mental habit. Your brain is an incredible machine, constantly optimizing for what you repeatedly do. If your daily routine involves complaining, fixating on problems, and anticipating the worst, your brain will become exquisitely skilled at producing sadness. Conversely, if you consciously seek out small joys, if you practice noticing beauty in the ordinary, if you cultivate gratitude for simple moments, your brain will become adept at generating happiness. This is not magic, it is the fundamental mechanism of your brain. Try this simple exercise each night before sleep. Write down 3 good things that happened that day. A genuine smile, a comforting meal, a moment of quiet peace, anything at all. Commit to this for 30 days. You will observe a shift in your thoughts, your emotions, and indeed, your brain's very structure. Because happiness is a deliberate mental habit, not a fortunate accident. Let me introduce a powerful concept: neuroplasticity. It signifies that your brain is not static. It possesses the remarkable ability to be rewired. Much like a computer can be reprogrammed, you are not predestined to be happy or sad. You become the person you consistently practice being. It's akin to learning the piano. Initially, your efforts may be clumsy, but with consistent daily practice, it eventually becomes second nature. The same holds true for happiness. You might not feel joyful right now. You might be weary, wounded, or adrift, but you are not without hope. Your brain awaits your training, and you can begin today. Part 2. The simple habits of happy people. Many erroneously believe that happy individuals are simply lucky, that their lives are flawless, untouched by sorrow. This is a misconception. Most happy people aren't happy because their lives are perfect. They are happy because they have forged habits that safeguard their inner peace. Even amidst pain, they have trained their minds to navigate storms rather than passively awaiting perpetual sunshine. Allow me to share 5 straightforward, yet profoundly transformative habits practiced by genuinely happy people. These are habits anyone can learn, and they will fundamentally alter how you feel, think, and live each day. They are not complex. They require no financial investment and no one's permission. All that is required is one thing: the courage to practice. Habit 1. They don't compare. They focus on their own life. Comparison is a thief of joy, a silent assassin of happiness. It permeates every aspect of our lives. Each time you open social media, hear a success story, or learn of someone's latest acquisition, travel, or achievement, your brain instinctively begins to compare. And here lies the problem: you compare your unvarnished reality to someone else's meticulously curated highlight reel. You contrast your private struggles with their public smiles. You stack your demanding workday against their vacation photographs. Unconsciously, you begin to feel as though you are falling behind. But listen closely, you are not behind. You are precisely where you need to be on your unique path. Their journey is not your journey. Every individual runs a different race, carries a different burden, and no one reveals their entire truth. Thus, when you compare, you are comparing illusions. Let me share a powerful anecdote. A woman once returned home in tears, lamenting, "Everyone I know is doing better. My friend just got promoted, another is buying a house, another is married, and I am nothing." Her grandmother, with a gentle smile, replied, "Child, you are observing everyone's fruit, but you are unaware of the depth their roots had to grow. You don't know their storms, their nights of silent tears, their hidden struggles. So cease comparing their harvest to your planting season." This is the profound truth. You don't know who cried moments before that perfect photograph. You don't know who smiles through silent depression. You don't know who is merely pretending that everything is fine. So, here's what happy people do. Instead, they focus intently on their own journey. They celebrate even the smallest increments of progress. They are proud of where they are, even if it's not yet perfect. And whenever the insidious urge to compare arises, they whisper to themselves, "I am not them. I don't need to be. I am growing at my own pace." That is peace. That is power. That is happiness. Habit 2. They appreciate small things. The second habit of truly happy people is remarkably simple, yet profoundly rare. They cultivate appreciation not for grand, dazzling, dramatic events, but for the quiet, beautiful fragments of life that most people overlook. The comforting aroma of fresh coffee in the morning, the soft embrace of a warm blanket, the rhythmic sound of rain against the window pane, a spontaneous smile from a stranger, the comfort of a clean shirt, a brief moment of stillness, a hug that communicates, "I see you," a message that says, "I'm thinking of you." You see, most people passively await monumental happiness, but happy people actively notice miniature joys. They don't declare, "I'll be happy when I possess everything." Instead, they affirm, "I am happy that I possess something." Let me illustrate the immense power of this habit. There was a man who lost his legs in a tragic accident, confining him to a wheelchair for life. Someone once inquired, "How do you maintain such happiness?" He responded, "Because now I perceive things I never noticed before. The gentle breeze on my face, the sunlight filtering through the trees. The sheer fact that I can still feel, think, speak, and love. I lost something significant, but in doing so, I discovered something far deeper. And I will not squander it." This is the transformative power of appreciation. It doesn't imply that life is devoid of hardship. It means you have cultivated the ability to perceive beauty, even when life presents its challenges. Happy people allow the present moment to be sufficient. They declare, "This moment is mine. This tea is warm. This blanket is soft. This heart continues to beat." And within that quiet acceptance, happiness is born. Because when you cease relentlessly chasing more, you begin to feel a profound sense of enough. This is not weakness, it is profound wisdom. These first two habits form the bedrock of genuine happiness. 1. Refrain from comparing your life. Focus on your unique journey. 2. Appreciate the small moments, for they are not small, they are everything. Habit 3. They control their inner voice. They don't let it destroy them. There resides a voice within your head and an incessant companion that accompanies you 24 hours a day. Sometimes it utters encouraging words. "You've got this. Keep going. You are stronger than you realize." But all too often, it speaks with a cruel tongue. "You're not good enough. You always fail. Nobody truly cares about you." Happy people are not born with an inherently kind inner voice. They diligently train it. They learn to intercept the negative self, talk, and replace it with a more compassionate narrative. If another person spoke to you with the harshness you often direct at yourself, you would rightly deem it abuse and walk away. So why do you permit it within your own mind? Imagine this: a young girl awakens, gazes into the mirror, and tells herself, "I look tired. I'm not pretty. No one will like me." She goes to school, masking her pain with a forced smile, convinced that everyone else is superior. Then, one day, she encounters a quote online: "Talk to yourself like someone you love." That single sentence becomes a turning point. She begins to speak gently to herself each morning. "I am proud of myself. I don't need to be perfect. I am growing. I am healing. I am enough." And something extraordinary unfolds. Her confidence blossoms. Her anxiety diminishes. Her spirit feels lighter. Why? Because the internal conflict ceased, and inner peace invariably cultivates outer happiness. Remember, your happiness is not contingent on how others speak to you. It is profoundly shaped by how you speak to yourself. Happy people are not flawless. They simply safeguard their peace by diligently guarding their inner voice. Habit 4. They forgive easily, not for others, but for their own peace. This is arguably one of the most challenging, yet most potent habits in existence. In life, we are all subjected to hurt. People betray us, break promises, abandon us, exploit us, and disappoint us. Naturally, we cling to that pain. We replay the scenarios, keeping the wounds fresh. We believe they are undeserving of forgiveness. And perhaps they truly aren't. Perhaps they inflicted profound damage. But here is the truth that happy people comprehend forgiveness is not for the other person. It is for you. When you withhold forgiveness, you become the carrier of that pain, the consumer of that poison. You drink the bitterness, and slowly it begins to erode your peace, your health, and even your joy. There is a tale of a man whose brother betrayed him. He spent a decade consumed by anger and schemes of revenge. Yet, during those years, he never experienced peaceful sleep. He fell ill. His smile vanished. One day, he caught his reflection and saw an old, tired, broken man. That night, he composed a letter to his brother, not to reconcile, but to release. I forgive you. He wrote, not because you deserve it, but because I deserve peace. The man later recounted sleeping like a baby that night for the first time in 10 years. Because forgiveness is not about the transgressor. It is about severing the cord that binds you to your pain. Happy people grasp this. They forgive not to allow others to win, but to liberate themselves, to move forward. Clinging to anger is akin to clutching a burning coal, hoping it will harm the other person, only to find yourself scorched. Thus, the habit is simple yet profound. Release what is slowly destroying your heart. Set yourself free. Forgive not to forget, but to heal. Habit 5. They stay present. Not stuck in the past or lost in the future. One of the most exquisite qualities of truly happy people is their mastery of living in the present moment. They are not ensnared by past regrets, nor consumed by future anxieties. They fully inhabit the gift of right now. This is a rare quality, for most people reside primarily in their minds, rather than in their actual lives. Allow me to illustrate. A woman sips her tea, yet her palate registers nothing. Her mind is adrift in the past, agonizing. Why did he leave me? A man sits beside his child, but his eyes are vacant. His mind is absorbed by future worries. Will I lose my job? And what is the consequence? They miss life. They overlook what is directly before them. They miss joy. They miss genuine connection. But happy people adopt a different approach. They train themselves to return to the now. When they drink tea, they truly taste it. When they converse, they genuinely listen. When they walk, they feel the earth beneath their feet. There's a poignant saying, if you are depressed, you are living in the past. If you are anxious, you are living in the future. But if you are at peace, you are living in the present. This is the daily practice of happy people. And when their minds inevitably wander, they gently guide them back, affirming, this moment is enough. Right here, right now, I possess everything I need. They don't postpone joy for the weekend, for a vacation, or for a perfect scenario. They embrace joy in the immediate present, even when circumstances are challenging, because they understand that life is not lived in memories or dreams. It is lived in moments. And if you fail to cultivate presence, you risk missing your entire life. Part 3. How to build the skill of happiness, step by step. Happiness does not arrive abruptly. It is not an unexpected gift. It is not a miracle. Happiness is meticulously built, slowly, patiently, day by day. Just as a strong physique is sculpted in a gym, just as a powerful mind is forged through discipline, a happy life is constructed through small, consistent daily actions. Most people desire happiness, but shy away from the daily practice required. Happy people are different. They don't wait for motivation. They adhere to simple, powerful systems. Step 1. Practice gratitude. This step may appear minor, but it is one of the most potent mental skills on earth. Gratitude is not merely uttering "thank you" occasionally. Gratitude is the deliberate training of your brain to perceive what is already right, rather than obsessively focusing on what is lacking. Most people begin their day with thoughts like, "I'm exhausted. My life is difficult. Nothing is working out. I don't have enough." Unknowingly, they program their brain for stress before the day even begins. Happy people do the opposite. They commence their day by anchoring their mind in appreciation. This is not a superficial positivity, nor is it an attempt to ignore pain. It is a conscious choice to acknowledge what remains good. Let me be unequivocally clear: gratitude does not imply your life is perfect. Gratitude means you refuse to allow pain to render you blind. Ponder this deeply. You awoke today. Your heart beats autonomously. Your lungs breathe without conscious effort. You possess the capacities to see, hear, and think. Millions did not awaken today. Millions lie in hospitals, yearning for the very faculties you already possess. Yet, many awaken angry, not because life is inherently cruel, but because their attention is meticulously trained on scarcity. Happy people train their attention differently. Every morning, before touching their phone, they pause for 1 minute and declare, "I am grateful for this day. I am grateful I am alive." Yet I am grateful for one small thing. It can be anything: a warm bed, clean water, a moment of quiet, the opportunity to try again. This may sound simple, but its effect on the brain is profound. Gratitude signals to your nervous system, "I am safe right now." And when the nervous system perceives safety, the mind relaxes, the body unwinds, and the heart opens. Imagine a man who lost everything in a business: failure, money, reputation, friends. Every morning he awoke consumed by anger and shame. One day, an elderly teacher advised him, "Every day, write down 3 things you are grateful for, even if it feels absurd." He resisted, but eventually complied. On the first day, he wrote, "I am alive. I can walk. I can think." After a few weeks, something shifted. His pain did not vanish, but his inner strength returned. He later reflected, "Gratitude didn't solve my problems, but it repaired me. And once I was repaired, I could begin to repair my life." This is why gratitude is step 1, because a fragmented mind cannot construct a happy life. Gratitude mends the mind. Step 2, control what you consume. This step can be uncomfortable because it demands brutal honesty. What are you feeding your mind daily? News cycles steeped in fear. Social media feeds saturated with comparison. Content brimming with anger, gossip, hate, and negativity. And then you wonder, why am I unhappy? Your mind is akin to a stomach. If you habitually consume junk food, your body weakens. If you consistently feed your mind junk content, your happiness inevitably weakens. This is not an opinion, it is a direct cause and effect. Happy people are exceptionally discerning about what they permit into their minds. They grasp one profound truth: what you consume becomes what you feel. If you spend hours scrolling through others' successes, your mind begins to feel inadequate. If you absorb negative content every night, your brain learns fear. If you surround yourself with complaining voices, your inner voice will echo their grievances. And slowly, silently, your happiness is siphoned away. Happy people do not allow this to happen. They don't consume indiscriminately, they choose. They ask themselves, does this bring me peace or anxiety? Does this inspire me or drain me? Does this make me stronger or weaker? And if something poisons their mind, they remove it without guilt. They unfollow, they mute, they limit. They fiercely protect their mental space, not out of arrogance, but because peace is a precious commodity, and they honor it. Let me provide a compelling example. A woman spent years scrolling through social media every night, observing perfect bodies, perfect relationships, perfect lives. She felt unattractive, behind, and unsuccessful. One day, she made a decisive choice. She eliminated everything that made her feel less. She replaced it with silence, books, calming music, and nature. After a few months, she uttered something powerful. My life didn't change, but my mind stopped attacking me. That is the genesis of happiness. You don't need to abandon the world. You simply need to filter it. Because your mind is your sanctuary and not everyone or everything deserves entry. Step 3, talk to yourself like someone you love. This step has the potential to save your life. It sounds deceptively simple, even soft, but it is one of the most potent habits a human being can ever cultivate. Allow me to elaborate. You engage in constant self-talk throughout the day. Even now, as you read these words, your mind is conversing. This is interesting. This resonates. I need this. Or perhaps, nothing will ever truly help me. This internal voice is perpetually active. And here is the truth. Your inner voice constructs your inner world. If it is saturated with criticism, you will inhabit a realm of pain. If it is imbued with love, you will reside in peace. Most people never learn this. They navigate life with an invisible adversary, their own thoughts. They label themselves stupid when they err, lazy when they are fatigued, ugly when they gaze in the mirror, useless when they feel lost. And here's the heartbreaking paradox. If someone else uttered those words to them, they would likely weep. But because it emanates from their own mind, they passively accept the abuse. Now, comprehend this with absolute clarity. Happy people are not happy because everything in their lives goes perfectly. They are happy because when things inevitably go awry, they do not compound their suffering by attacking themselves. They speak to themselves with the same tenderness they would offer a beloved child. They say, it's acceptable to make mistakes. You are permitted to be human. You are not broken. You are growing. You are performing better than you realize. This is not weakness. This is emotional intelligence. This is the crucible where true strength is forged. Imagine a young man who experienced a devastating business failure. He lost his finances. His family criticized him. His friends mocked him. He began to engage in the most cruel self-talk. You are a loser. You are a disappointment. No one respects you. Each day his mind grew darker. Until one night he wrote in his journal, if I were my own best friend, what would I say to myself right now? That singular question fundamentally altered his life. He answered, you tried. You were brave. You didn't passively observe, you pursued it. You are not defined by your results. You are defined by your effort. That marked the commencement of his healing. He later remarked, "The world didn't become kinder, I did." This is what happy people understand. They cannot control the external world, but they can absolutely control how they speak to themselves. And if you desire happiness to take root in your heart, your inner voice must evolve into your protector, not your punisher. So today, initiate a new habit. Upon waking, utter something kind to yourself. When you stumble, offer yourself forgiveness. When doubt creeps in, speak a grounding truth. Because your words are not mere sounds, they are potent seeds, and they blossom into the life you live. Step 4, move your body. This step is inherently physical, yet its impact is profoundly mental, emotional, and even spiritual. It is simply impossible to sustain a truly happy life within a body that is perpetually stiff, fatigued, heavy, and riddled with tension. Your mind and your body are not separate entities. They are intricately connected. Allow me to demonstrate. When anxiety grips you, your chest tightens. When depression weighs you down, your shoulders slump. When hopelessness pervades, your body becomes sluggish and heavy. Therefore, if you aspire to shift your mind, you must simultaneously move your body. You don't require a gym membership. You don't need elaborate equipment. You don't need to be a seasoned athlete. You simply need to move. Even a brisk 10-minute walk outdoors, a 5-minute stretch in your room, or a few deep breaths while basking in the sun can entirely recalibrate your energy. Because when you engage your body, you release powerful chemicals that elevate your mood. These include dopamine for pleasure and motivation, serotonin for peace and contentment, and endorphins for joy and relief. These are your body's natural happiness chemicals. You don't need artificial stimulants to feel good, you need movement. Here is a true story. A woman battled depression for 3 years. She exhausted every avenue: therapy, medication, meditation. Nothing seemed to work. One doctor offered a simple suggestion. Try walking for 20 minutes every morning. Do not miss a single day. She initially dismissed it as trivial. How could such a small act make any difference? Yet she decided to try. At first, it felt futile, but after a week, her mood subtly improved. After 2 weeks, she began to sleep more soundly. After 1 month, she exclaimed, "I don't know what happened, but I feel alive again." This is the quiet power of movement. When you walk, your thoughts begin to decelerate. When you move, your energy begins to flow. When you sweat, your stress begins to exit your body. And most importantly, you begin to prove to yourself that you are not irrevocably stuck, because a moving body invariably creates a moving mind. Happy people do not wait for motivation to exercise. They move because they understand that their mental well-being is intrinsically linked to it. And no, they don't do it to achieve physical perfection. They do it to feel alive. So, let this become your new guiding principle. Even on your worst days, and especially on your worst days, move. Stretch, walk, dance, lift, run. Do whatever you are capable of, because motion begets emotion. And movement can accomplish what mere words cannot. It can uplift you when no one else can. It can ground you when your thoughts are spiraling. It can restore your power, not merely in your muscles, but in the very core of your mind. Step 5. Sleep well, because a tired mind cannot be happy. You simply cannot construct a happy life with an utterly exhausted brain. Many people attribute their sadness, anger, irritation, and lack of motivation to life's external problems. But in truth, a significant portion of their suffering stems from an acute lack of proper rest. When you consistently fail to sleep well, minor problems balloon into insurmountable obstacles. Casual comments inflict deep wounds. Small setbacks feel like the absolute end of the world. Your patience evaporates. Your mind becomes negative and heavy, not because you are inherently weak, but because your brain is overwhelmed and profoundly fatigued. Happy people deeply understand this. They do not view sleep as a luxury or a sign of laziness. They treat sleep as essential mental maintenance. Your brain toils all day processing emotions, memories, stress, decisions, and fears. At night, it desperately requires time to repair, reset, and heal. Without adequate sleep, your brain cannot effectively clear emotional waste. Imagine neglecting to clean your house. Day after day, dirt accumulates. Soon, even a small mess feels unbearable. This is precisely what transpires within your mind when you are sleep deprived. Consider this example. A man was perpetually angry. He quarreled with his family, snapped at colleagues, and loathed himself for it. He believed he possessed a fundamentally bad personality. One doctor offered him a simple directive: prioritize your sleep for 30 days. He began going to bed earlier, abstaining from late night phone use, and silencing the endless mental chatter in bed. He simply focused on rest. After 1 month, he reported, "I'm the same person, same job, same problems, but I'm calmer, kinder, clearer." His external life remained unchanged. His brain, however, had recovered. This illustrates why sleep is of such paramount importance. Happy people safeguard their sleep with the same vigilance they protect their peace. They comprehend that sleep is not wasted time. Sleep is emotional repair. Sleep is mental strength. So here is the habit happy people cultivate. They establish a simple night routine. They consciously slow down before bed. They minimize noise. They allow their mind to settle, because a rested mind thinks with clarity, feels lighter, handles pain with greater resilience, and discovers joy more readily. If you aspire to happiness, do not first ask, "What should I do?" Instead, ask, "Have I rested sufficiently to perceive life clearly?" Because peace begins with rest. Step 6. Build meaning, not just pleasure. This is the deepest, most enduring step. This is where happiness transcends fleeting moments and becomes truly lasting. Many people mistakenly equate happiness with pleasure. They believe happiness is synonymous with entertainment, comfort, escaping pain, and constant excitement. But pleasure is inherently ephemeral, and when it inevitably fades, emptiness often returns. Happy people grasp a truth that most never learn. Happiness is not about perpetually feeling good. It is about feeling that your life possesses meaning. Meaning bestows strength even amidst pain. Meaning provides direction even amidst confusion. Meaning sustains happiness even when pleasure dissipates. Imagine two men identical in age, occupation, salary, and grueling work hours. Both awaken at 6:00 a.m., both don the same uniform. Both commute on the same crowded bus each morning to reach a construction site. All day they laboriously carry bricks under the scorching sun. Their hands are calloused. Their shirts are drenched with sweat. They consume the same meager lunch from a paper bag. They return home with aching backs and weary eyes. Externally, their lives appear identical. Yet, their internal worlds are vastly different. The first man awakens daily with a knot of anger in his chest. He mutters to himself, "This life is futile. Look at me, toiling like a machine. I should have pursued something better. I should have had more. This world is unjust. I despise this job. I despise this life." He meticulously counts every second at work. Each hour feels like a punishment. Every task feels utterly meaningless. And the more he complains, the heavier the bricks feel in his hands. Upon reaching home, he collapses. He avoids conversation. He retreats to the television to escape. He struggles with sleep. He awakens again with an amplified bitterness, greater anger, and diminished hope. Now observe the second man. Same job, same bricks, same sweat. But upon waking, he sits in silence for 2 minutes. He gazes at a photograph of his daughter taped to the wall. He whispers to himself, "I am doing this for her. I want her to study, to flourish, to have opportunities I never had. This work is arduous, but it infuses my life with meaning." He dresses with a quiet strength. He still works tirelessly. He still sweats profusely. But he carries those bricks with a sense of pride. He shares jokes with his co-workers. He hums while he works. He envisions the building they are constructing. And he thinks, one day, families will reside here. Children will play here. I am not merely carrying bricks. I am building something tangible. He is still tired at the end of the day, but upon arriving home, he embraces his daughter. He shares dinner with his wife. He closes his eyes at night and affirms, "I am not wealthy, but I am useful. I am living with meaning. Same work, same pain, same world." Yet, one man perceives himself as a prisoner, while the other feels like a builder. This is the transformative power of meaning. It does not eradicate pain, but it imbues pain with purpose. It does not simplify life, but it renders life profoundly worth living. Now ask yourself, are you merely waking up to survive or to serve something greater than yourself? Are you navigating life with an empty heart, or are you connected to a purpose, however small? Are you demanding that the world make you happy, or are you bestowing meaning upon your own life through your actions? Because happy people are not those devoid of struggle. They are those who have discovered something worth struggling for. It might be a beloved child, a dream they refuse to relinquish, a promise made to themselves, a value they refuse to compromise, a silent hope that declares, "I was not born to squander this life." When you live without purpose, even the most ostensibly perfect life feels hollow. But when you live with meaning, even the most challenging days possess a quiet beauty. That is what the second man discovered. That is what you too can discover. So cease asking, "When will life make me happy?" and begin asking, "How can I imbue my life with meaning, even now?" Because meaning gives birth to peace, and peace becomes the unshakable foundation of true happiness. Allow me to impart a truth that may resonate with you for the remainder of your life. You do not require a perfect life to experience peace. You do not require applause to feel proud. You do not require every answer to move forward. What you require is this: to show up fully, to give your absolute 100%, to live your truth, even if your voice trembles. And yes, I know you are tired. Tired of striving. Tired of pretending. Tired of holding everything together when no one perceives the immense weight you carry. But hear me now, you are not weak for feeling exhausted. You are not a failure for needing rest. You are not broken for falling apart. You are human, and you are doing the very best you can with what you have. And that, my friend, is enough. Whatever you are doing right now, whatever season of life you find yourself in, give it everything. Give it not for applause, not for likes, not for external validation, but because this moment is an integral part of your unique story. And how you carry it will reverberate into the next. And if you fail, so what? You didn't lose, you grew. You gained wisdom that pain could never steal. You discovered your profound strength when the world fell silent. Do not be ashamed of your scars. They are not symbols of weakness. They are irrefutable proof that you showed up to fight for your life. They are signs of survival. Failure is not the end. It is the sharpening of the sword. It is life whispering, "Not yet. Grow a little more. Then rise again." And if you succeed, celebrate it. Even if no one applauds. Even if it feels insignificant to the world. Even if it's merely a quiet triumph in your bedroom at midnight, celebrate. Pause. Feel it. Own it. Tell yourself without shame or apology, "I did that. I kept going. I didn't surrender. I confronted it. I overcame it. I am proud of me." We inhabit a world that moves at a relentless pace, constantly urging us to achieve more, prove more, climb higher, perform better. But very few people will ever tell you this: you are already worthy. Not because you completed something, not because you won something, but because you are alive, because you continued walking when you could have collapsed, because you continued breathing when the world presented every reason not to. So today, I grant you full permission to take a deep, cleansing breath, to let your shoulders drop, to unclench your jaw, to soften your heart, to take a moment of peace. Not because life is easy, but because you deserve peace. Even when life is hard, you are not a machine. You are not defined by your productivity. You are a soul. And your soul was never intended to run on fear, shame, or relentless pressure. Your soul was meant for stillness, for laughter, for meaning, for love, for quiet moments when you feel utterly full for no reason at all. Happiness is not about perpetually smiling. It's about no longer needing to constantly run. It's about being present even when circumstances are imperfect. It's about living with your heart wide open, even if it has been broken. So if you are tired, rest. If you have stumbled, breathe. If you have failed, reflect. If you have lost something, grieve. But never cease showing up, because every single day you persist, you are training the most powerful skill in the world. The ability to experience joy even amidst chaos. The ability to discover light even in the deepest darkness. The ability to smile without requiring an external reason. The ability to be fully, beautifully, peacefully human. That is happiness, not the boisterous kind, not the kind displayed on social media, not the kind you feign for others, but the quiet kind. The kind that resides deep within your chest, the kind that whispers, I am here. I am alive. I am learning. I am enough. And you are far more than your mistakes. You are far more than your past. You are far more than what the world perceives. You are someone in the profound process of becoming more than you ever thought possible. This was never merely a video. This was a turning point, a small aperture in your day to remind you that happiness is not a matter of luck. Happiness is not an exclusive privilege. Happiness is a skill, and like every skill, it can be practiced, and like every skill, it improves with time, and like every skill, it belongs to those who are willing to try. So try. One breath at a time, one habit at a time, one kind word to yourself at a time. You have already begun. You are already on the path. And even if you cannot yet perceive it, you are performing better than you realize. If this message resonated with your soul, do not keep it to yourself. Share it. Let someone else feel human again. Let someone else pause and affirm, I'm okay. I'm enough. I'm healing. Because this world desperately needs more people who are not just alive, but truly living.